I'm Jerry Pedersen, and I've been a member of St. John's here since 2001. On September 2nd, 1945, aboard the battleship Missouri, we signed the peace surrender ceremonies. And General MacArthur came aboard that morning, and he led the ceremonies. And at that occasion, I heard him say, "We must preserve in peace what we've won in war." And that was kind of the occasion for me to say, I want to be a peacemaker in my life. I decided that a pastor might be the best way to work for peace. When I was in the seminary in Minneapolis, they heard that St. John's in Sacramento was interested in having an intern. The day came to do it, and I remember walking up into that pulpit. It seemed to me it was a mile up there, all those steps, and I got up there, and I had carefully prepared notes and laid them on the little shelf on the pulpit. But before I started the sermon, somehow I shaved my arm across that and knocked them onto the floor. And I saw them floating down to the ground. And I debated going down and picking them up, but so I gave the sermon. And I think many people remember it, probably because of my reaction seeing those notes float down to the floor. But tomorrow it will be 67 years.
67 years.
August 22nd, 1948. Bob Romeister and Haldane were models for me of married life. Haldane was a good friend for my wife and me. Drew has always resisted being called the pastor's wife. She says, "No, Jerry is my husband. I'm not a pastor's wife." And I'm like every other member of a congregation. Now, she often healed over the antagonisms that I created with people. Went to East Africa, where in a newly independent country in Tanzania, or Tanganyika when I went there, asked to formulate the ministry at the only university in the country. But the task was to be Africanized as soon as possible. St. John's has such a long record of being what a congregation ought to be that I think primarily it's to keep doing what you're doing, serving all of the people of this community.